You know, one of my favorite things about being married to Alyssa is in marriage, there's this covenant and this promise where the other person can see all that you are. They can see all your frailty, your failures, your guilt, and your shame, and your struggles, and say, I still want you. I still desire to be with you. And you feel truly loved, because to be truly loved, you also have to be deeply known. And so when you are deeply known in the context of marriage, it's a beautiful thing. And God even explains our relationship with Him like that as well, right? He sees all of it. He sees our failure, our shame, our guilt, our struggles, the insecurities, whatever it is, and He says, I still want you. And that's beautiful and amazing. But I think a lot of times, whether it's because of broken relationships with friends or family, we actually wear these masks where we hide behind our fake version of ourselves, whether it's religious performance, academic performance, athletic performance. We hide behind these masks and we prop up these fake selves that we want everyone to see us as, right? Kind of like this Facebook edited version of ourselves. And we all hide behind that because we're terrified of someone really knowing us, really knowing the secrets and the struggles and the insecurities. And so then we project that on God, right? We say, well, He must not love me, or we don't feel like we're loved by God, or we feel like His grace isn't unconditional because of that mask we're wearing. And the problem with that is, it doesn't matter how awesome God's grace and love is, it can't penetrate us until we take off the mask. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, you're in this room with me right now and you have paint in your hands, right? And the object is to hit my face with paint. But let's also say that I'm wearing a full mask covering my entire face. If you were to throw that paint on me, it doesn't matter how awesome the paint is, it doesn't matter how unconditional the paint is, how cool the paint is, it's not going to hit my face, it's going to hit the mask, right? And a lot of times that's like with God's love. His love is unconditional, amazing, ferocious, and relentless in His pursuit of us. But because we wear the mask, it cannot penetrate, it cannot give us life. And so my encouragement is, man, are you wearing a mask, and can you take that mask off? Because joy is on the other side. I mean, God didn't die for the mask, He died for you, right? I mean, you see it all throughout Scripture that He pursues us and loves us despite our behavior, not because of our behavior. And you see in Psalm 139 that He formed us in our mother's womb. He's deeply involved in even the creation of us. He knows the hairs on our head. Ephesians 2 says we are His workmanship. We are His poetry, it says. And then in Hebrews it says, for the joy set before Him, Jesus endured the cross, right? Now think about that. What joy is in the cross? It's obviously not the crucifixion. That's not joyful, right? To be killed. And even sometimes people will say, well, maybe it's that we might, do a bunch of things for God. But I don't think it's that either, right? Do you think Jesus is about to die and He says, well, I just am doing this because I pray that they'll just pray 20 times a day, go to 15 Bible studies, 20 accountability groups, and go to church all the time, and then, okay, I'm satisfied, and then He dies. No, right? What's the joy? The joy is you. Just you. No qualifications, no additions. He just wants our heart. And sometimes that's the hardest thing for us to give, because we have to be vulnerable, we have to be transparent, and we have to be honest if we want to give our heart and if we want to give our true selves. But be encouraged that God didn't die for the mask, He died for you. And so what are you hiding behind today? And understand that God's grace, right, is based on His nature, not your behavior. And so it's pushing at you, and He is giving it to you based upon who He is, not what you have done. And so you can rest assured that you can drop the act, you can drop the mask, you can be honest and let that grace and that love penetrate your soul and bring life to you. And when you understand that, what it does is you understand that He is the true audience you should be living for. And when you get that, then you can be honest with everyone else as well. And you don't have to put up this fake version of you to all your friends or to the public, but instead say, hey, this is who I truly am, and the person that truly matters loves me, desires me, and wants me, and so I can be honest. And so be encouraged with that today, and I hope you understand that He loves you right now. Love you guys.